You're about to experience an honest Stellar XLM review and price prediction, which I think we're heading towards 1 cent for Stellar XLM. I've been following this project for a long time. I have bought it before, but I don't hold any of it now. For timestamping, the price today that I'm recording this at, it's 16 cents. And I think we're heading to 1 cent because of what I'm about to give you in the review. Now, this review is based on things people don't usually look at when they review cryptos. I have a standard 10-question blockchain checklist I use that is designed to see where something's going in the future, where the true value is, and to cut through all the hype and all the speculation and marketing and talk, but to get down into what is the true value of this. My goal is to act like an appraiser that's coming in on your behalf as a crypto investor. Now, this is not financial advice, and I have 6,500 ICP, so I'm being fully transparent. You can see where my position is. And with that in mind, let's look at what Stellar XLM actually is. My main question is, does this blockchain actually stand out as a long-term investment, or is it just another crypto project living on hype, legacy branding, and institutional partnerships? To begin, let's start the questions, which Stellar gets 2 out of 10 of these questions correct. First, does this blockchain offer technical capabilities that truly stand out in the way that can matter long-term? No. It's a fast, low-cost payment blockchain. That might have sounded interesting a decade ago when they copied and forked over from XRP. But today there are so many chains that can do high-speed payments, token transfers, and asset issuance. The question is not whether Stellar works. The question is, does it do something that can last the test of time and stand out above and beyond marketing and speculation? Absolutely not. Number 2, can developers build useful products on this blockchain without major off-chain dependencies or third-party infrastructure? As cybercrime and AI escalate, this question is increasingly more important for every blockchain, and the fact is Stellar cannot. Stellar's practical use depends on anchors, issuers, fiat ramps, compliance providers, and outside business relationships. That means the real-world usefulness is mostly not happening natively on-chain. It depends heavily on external players. So this means that it's vulnerable to all kinds of issues and can't have meaningful decentralization. Then that leads to question 3. Does this blockchain do something the world is truly likely to need in 5 or 10 years when AI is much more advanced, when we have to have solutions for cybercrime or the whole web's going to go down? The world may need payments and settlement, but the world does not need another Me Too payment chain. And that's all Stellar is. A copy of fork of XRP. It's another Me Too. We do payments also. We don't need that. There's only marketing and hype at this point. If Stellar disappeared, there's plenty of other blockchain systems that could fill the role. It's not indispensable. When we compare to something like ICP, ICP is something that can be absolutely indispensable to the whole world in the future. XLM, no way. There's just too many other things that do the exact same thing and don't solve any of the other problem. Now, question 4. Is the demand for this blockchain's coin mainly driven by real usage rather than speculation? No. XLM is all about the hype, and maybe these people and institutions will use it. It does not have that much real usage from what I can see on the actual blockchain itself. The main thing right now propping XLM's value up is people hyping, putting videos out, doing price predictions that are the opposite of this, thinking that, oh my God, it's going to be so high in the future. That's the reality. To me, this is much more likely to be the reality than what any of the other people are saying. A lot of the activity revolves around moving assets or issuing other assets, and it weakens the case for the coin itself because almost all the hype doesn't even involve things that actually happen on the blockchain. The hype is talking about things that don't even happen on the blockchain. Number 5, did this blockchain's tokenomics, dilution profile, and valuation create a strong asymmetric upside? To me, this is the key question as to whether I want to invest or not. And that's why I have ICP, because the answer to ICP here is yes, and the answer to almost everything else is no. The current market valuation on XLM is, according to CoinGecko, the fully diluted is $8 billion. That's like 5 times what ICP is valued at today. And that's insane because this technology is literally a copy of XRP, and they've made a little bit of upgrade since then. There's billions of dollars, according to this, that can be dumped still. And, look at the price chart. I mean, these are just manipulated speculative pumps that then crash and end up losing all their value. And what you're seeing is diminishing returns. I mean, Stellar at this point is never likely to get to its all-time high. The last big bull run came lower. This one, massively manipulated pump that came along with XRP, and it's lost almost all the value of that already. And this can't continue to last the test of time because AI and investors are going to continue to get smarter and smarter and see through all of this. So this, to me, Stellar is dramatically overvalued. I think the true value for this should go back down to where it was in 2017 before there was all the hype and speculation. It should be worth about 1 cent. And therefore, there's huge possible downside if I'm right. But the upside, it's unlikely we're even going to see the highs that we saw before. It's unlikely it even gets back to like 70 cents. And what a disappointing potential return profile when it's unlikely to even go as high as it went in the future. I don't see why anyone would want to hold that. Obviously not financial advice. This is my research, and this is here to help you have a different point of view than what most people give you. Even if Stellar does survive, which is questionable, that's not the same as producing good returns. Number 6, is investing in this blockchain aligned with crypto retail values of building a more decentralized, empowering future rather than mainly betting on institutional adoption, banks, big tech, governments, or authority signaling? No. Stellar's leaning into the institutional story, and that authority signaling creates in people this feeling of safety, but it's literally the opposite of the reason I got into crypto. This may attract certain investors, but I didn't start investing in crypto so I could invest in what big banks and tech and governments and institutions might do in the future when these entities already have stocks that I can hold. I don't want to hold a crypto coin that doesn't give me all the legal protections and participation that a stock does and is unlikely to even have that much upside. I mean, the stock market at least does consistently go up, whereas most crypto coins over time, outside of manipulated, financially engineered pumps, tend to go down, especially as more and more new chains get released. It feels like most of what's happening in Stellar is authority signaling, flaunting partnerships that may not have much real value, and crypto retail is being tricked into investing in something that doesn't seem to be even genuinely useful for building a kind of future that crypto retail would want to live in. Number 7, is this blockchain decentralized and resilient enough to function well without heavy dependence on insiders, a foundation, or a single organization? No. All the pitch and all the hype are that the insiders and the organizations are working together to give this blockchain, which by itself seems to have almost no value, some value. Stellar's way too dependent on all the narratives and not very dependent on real people just using it for real transactions outside of sending from one exchange to another, which you could do that with almost any coin. If a blockchain needs heavy dependence on foundations or partnerships to maintain confidence, I don't see that that is a good opportunity. Now, number 8, this blockchain Stellar does have a public-facing team, which I personally do want a public-facing team for accountability. If I'm buying a coin, like with ICP, I want to know which people are doing the work that make very strong contributions to the network. And so Stellar does get a yes on this. The team is public-facing. There's clear accountability. The project has been around long enough to show a real technical track record. At least the blockchain's kept running. But again, does the blockchain itself do very much besides send transactions? The blockchain is basically like a spreadsheet secured with cryptography. And there's a whole bunch of those right now. So I'm critical on the investment case, but I will give credit here. Number 9, is the blockchain carved out a category where no stronger incumbent already owns the core narrative. I mean, and Stellar is absolutely like a hell no on this one. Literally, XRP has almost all the same narratives and a bigger market cap, which is the exact opposite position I would want to invest in. This is the lane that XLM is a very crowded space with a bunch of people saying the same things and just insert a different coin. Talking about payments, tokenized assets, settlements, and financial infrastructure. That's what everybody else is saying too. Nobody else is saying that they're, at least with any honesty, that they're building a decentralized future of the internet, which ICP is doing. Like, everybody's saying all these same things, and I don't see that we're even going to need that because ICP can do all of this stuff better than anything else in crypto. And thus, Stellar has nothing strong to differentiate it. and it doesn't even dominate its own narrative. Like, even if ICP didn't exist, it doesn't even dominate in its own narrative, which is weak. Now, the one thing I will give it as the second point is that, and ICP gets a no for this one, as I showed in my ICP review. Does this blockchain have a strong self-reinforcing narrative advantage built on major holders, influencers, institutions, ETFs, VCs, or ecosystem insiders having strong incentives to keep promoting it and defending its position in the market? Now, yes, there are enough people and big entities and powerful players holding XLM that they've got to keep shilling it to you, because they lose billions of dollars if this happens to the price. And they need you as exit liquidity. Thus, there's a huge self-reinforcing interest to keep shilling you Stellar and many of these other ones, because the people inside need to keep making money and exiting. And as long as people keep buying and holding XLM, they're going to keep their position. But if people figure out, hey, I'm not sure why I'd really hold this, then they will have to exit. And that's where we could see here, if they calculate the game is up, if all the people, the insiders, the VCs, if they calculate the game is up on XLM, we go to the 1 cent price. But as long as they think they can keep getting you to buy it and hold it and believe in it, when I don't see anything worth believing in here at all personally. And the way I look at it, I'm just a front runner of human consciousness, at least in tech and crypto. I see things years before other people see them. Like I saw Bitcoin in 2014, years before most other people found it. And I found ICP and understood it years before most other people will. I just tend to find stuff ahead of time. So to me, I'm just signaling what is probable but not guaranteed in the future. So there are the fundamentals of the marketing and this basically, if you look at the crypto is a fake market, pay to play, and XLM is succeeding in that environment. But if that environment changes, XLM is extremely high risk. So my final score for XLM is a 2 out of 10. It's a legacy Me Too payments chain. It does have branding and institutional relevance, and it has people with a lot of money and power that are holding a bunch of it that want it to stay alive so they can cash out. But in the long term, I see this as extremely risky with very low potential upside, and I seriously doubt this. This to me, if you want to ask what's the price in 5 or 10 years, we're probably close to 1 cent, because there's just too many other things doing the same stuff as XLM, working off the same narratives, and ICP solves real problems. And if ICP gets adopted, the whole rest of crypto goes through a great filter where almost nothing makes it. So thanks for watching this. If you appreciate that I care more about you and I'd rather give you the truth and my best research, instead of, if I put a big price target on here and hyped XLM up, which I could easily do, then I'd get more views, I'd get more subscriptions, I'd make more money. And I'd say no to that because I care about you that much. And I'd rather just be honest and treat you as a fellow human being instead of taking advantage of you like most other people are doing. So if you value that, subscribe here. Tell me what other cryptos you want on me to review. I read all the comments on my Jerry Banfield Crypto Reviews YouTube channel. If you want to hear about ICP, subscribe to my Jerry Banfield ICP channel. And if you want to schedule a call and I'll go through your whole Coinbase crypto portfolio, we can look at all your coins. I've done that with lots of people, and you can schedule that at jerrybanfield.com. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.